All right, we're live. And welcome to Nona Prince, and welcome to every viewer who will be joining us in this discussion. Uh, of course, it's Lokah that brings us together here, and it had to be this film. I mean, every year on Onam, there is something that comes and, conquers. And last year it was Kishkinda Kandam. This time it's Lokah, which has, again put Malayalam cinema in another league. Uh, so Nona, first things first, I'll come straight to the point. Is this the best superhero film that has come out of India, or do you have something else?
I don't know. Like there was someone who messaged me, DM'd me saying it's not even a superhero film and this and that. Spoiler alert, by the way. I don't know
Hmm.
if it's in the title or not. But okay,
It's
without
the
spoiler,
it's
also
a
I'll say that
description.
it's not really. It's like depends on the definition of you calling what is superhero film for you. There
Hmm.
are elements you can say, but it's not all out superhero. I would say more of a
Hmm.
fantasy supernatural in a sense. If you if you think yeah but yeah I think it's not fair. Like for me it's one of the best days in India. I would say Bhave Joshi for me. Even
Hmm.
Minal Murli is
Okay.
good, but for me Bhave Joshi is what really, like, it's literally, the film is literally defining what it means to be a superhero.
Hmm.
So for me that is still the best, but yeah, I don't think it comes in that category. uh but yeah, it's solid. It's like one of the best cinematic universes which is being coming up, or I don't know if cinematic universe is the right term, but franchise.
Yeah, I mean, by the end, the number of cameos that we had, and what they are setting up for eventual cinematic
But
universe later on.
the thing is, like, they have come out and said there'll be five films, so
Hmm.
it's kind of they'll go in a sequential order. Whereas if you look at MCU, it's more like they have these like different franchises. Iron
Hmm.
Man, Captain America, their films, and then they all cross over. So it's like all of it's happening in a one cinematic universe. So here it's like
Right.
a franchise where every film will explore one, and then they all will come together. So it's like if it's spin-offs comes out and different stories, and then you can call it, oh, it's all happening in that world. But even with Kalki, right? Like they end with saying Kalki cinematic universe, but it's not a
Yeah.
cinematic universe. You're just making a franchise of three-part or two-part or whatever it will be.
Yeah, like for YRF, the spy universe is there, right? So, and how we also
Yeah,
refer
that you
to,
can call a cinematic because it's like they're different of their own worlds,
yeah,
and then they come and work
yeah,
together.
and or maybe even Lokesh, whatever he's trying to build.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but here, like, okay, so talking in isolation, or not even thinking like whether it's the best to come out of India. Even in Malayalam cinema itself, we have seen Minnal Murli, and the first part, and the second is gonna come at some point. Uh, Compared to that, like I felt that origin story wise, this is a very different case than that because this I recently got to know is actually this one comes from Kerala folklore, right? There is actually this entity called Neeli that it's famous and
Yeah.
popular in Kerala culture, and so for the director to have that vision, because I read that they look at Neeli as somewhat of a in a negative shade or sense, but for him to weave the whole story around it as something of a heroic thing, and to have it made for Kerala audiences. I think that's the master stroke for me, the biggest game changer in terms of what and how this superhero movie is different from others.
It is, because I think that's what makes it special, right? Because they have found connections. Like there are,
Mhm.
I've talked about it before, there are Western concepts in the narrative, but the way they have made it all their own is really,
Yeah.
interesting, and that's what makes it special also. And especially, like, even I am not aware of so many things. So many people told me that there are so many elements which are part of of we growing up and our folklore, and
Yeah.
like, be it a chatan or a muthun, and
Mhm.
all of these elements. And I'm sure the more times you see there's more and more references and all of that, and the bigger one is about Neely.
Hmm.
I think that's what makes it more, it's an association with the people of Kerala, and that's why I think Kalani Priyadarshan said in an interview that it's not a Marvel film, or it's not like Dune, or anything like that. We're just making our own very
Hmm.
Malayalam centric film, and which, because it's so well made, it's traveling.
And the good thing is, for a change, I didn't see a pan-India promotion or marketing, because they were clear from the start itself that this comes out of Malayali folklore. So this is meant for our audiences first across the world. And if now it's doing well, maybe because of word of mouth, it has pierced into other places and states as well. Plus
They,
also, yeah.
yeah, continue.
No, like I was saying, like even in the film, there is Kannada and Tamil also amalgamated in within that world. That
Yeah.
policeman is Tamil speaking. It's based out of Bangalore, so people around them are also speaking in Kannada. So that way they have very smartly tried to bring all those states and languages together.
But I think that's also part of the Malayali culture, in a sense that many of them, travel to Bangalore or have this connection to Bangalore. Maybe they have
Yeah.
studied there, or they have, worked there. So I guess that's also part of their culture, in a sense. But I think in the trailer also, in the ending, they show the title in every language. So I'm guessing
Hmm.
they had a plan. They thought we can take it pan India, but I think they did the smart way. At first, put it out in your own language, let it work, let the word of mouth spread, and then with that buzz, you go and use that to promote your film, instead of going everywhere at first only promoting it, and then nothing happens. So it's better to go this way, where you at least even do 1 week thing, that you put out your language movie first, give it 1 week, let's see what's going on, word of mouth, everything, and then use that and start promoting the other language dubs, and then release the other language dubs. That's what they are doing. So
Hmm.
this week the Hindi one releases. I think Telugu already is in the theaters before last week only, whereas Hindi one releases this week. So I think if with all the buzz,
That's
I
great.
hope. Now the problem is there are a lot of releases happening this week also, so they'll
Hmm.
find it hard to find show timings. But even if one or two, three are there and they get filled up, and people come
Hmm.
and watch the film, I think that will make it have a longer run, and then it will work way better.
Yeah, and it's mind-boggling how they ended up making this, uh, if I'm not wrong, in less than 30 crores, if that's what I've heard, that if that's correct.
So yeah, it's not official. So it's like people are coming up with this number, and everyone has stuck to it. Like, someone said 30, and some other people took that, and everyone now thinks, oh, it's 30 only. I don't think it's just 30. I heard someone saying that 30
50.
would, you can say, it's just the production cost.
Hmm.
So the remunerations, the marketing, and also it's they're building a world. So a lot of cost is like it will go on, carry
Hmm.
forward to the other films also, in terms of effects or set designs or whatever, pre-production sense. So what I heard, another other number is totally 105 crores, which is invested, which is not the budget of this film alone. So you can say it's budget of the project that they've started with this universe, and out of that 35 crore is the production budget of this film, and then other stuff. So
But
but
still,
yeah, there's no yeah, but the point is that it doesn't matter. That
yeah.
the thing is that we have seen films with the budget of 200 300 crores, and they have left a green screen shot in the film, in the final product, and
Hmm.
that tells you it how wrong it can go, even if you have a lot of money. So even with those
Yeah.
constraints, the kind of output they were able to deliver, and at no point, it's not, they didn't have budget, so I'll let it go. No, there's nothing like that.
Yeah.
There's nothing like that in the whole film, where it was, oh, too iffy, and this, and oh, that looked really bad. No, everything looked consistent throughout. Yes, I can pause, I can zoom, and I say, okay, this is not looking that good. And they have played very smart. A lot of things in the night, you are
Hmm.
taking wide angle shots, and you're using matte painting, so you're just seeing extension, but you're shooting in real spaces. You are, the aspect ratio, you're not showing too much. And the camera angles, the camera lens you're using, it's, you don't need to show. And the way of style of filmmaking also, if you look at
Hmm.
it, it's very, you know they're composing every frame, so only this much is
Yeah.
visible, and what is visible looks good on screen. They are not trying to, how some films try to just show too much for the sake
Yeah.
of, showing scale and grandeur, but
Yeah.
it just falls flat because it's not done well. I think they've played really, really smartly.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't get it. Like how they first of all when they made Milan Murli also, I think in 25 CR budget. So even there, it was very refreshing to see, okay, how have they been able to achieve all this in that much budget? And now this one takes it a step further. So in that sense, I was recently listening to a Karan Johar interview, and he said, I'm a huge Malayalam cinema fan, and he was giving the example of Avesham and Manjumal Boys, but then he said we cannot do things in that budget because in Bollywood or in Mumbai, the pays are higher, and the per day costs and rents are higher, so we can't really get to that point where we are making things work in that amount of budget. So, do you also think one of the reasons why Kerala is able to do this, maybe because the actor fees are not that high as it's in maybe Hindi or a Tamil industry?
It's like, okay, take the super chat first. I'll come to the
Yeah, one second.
response.
Hi, Shelly. Thank you so much for your generous contribution. So she says, "Love this movie. How is it that Ryan Coogler put out a vampire movie? Bollywood could put out a vampire movie, but Marvel,
That is funny.
I think it's for
Oh,
you to."
you Shelly, it's playing in US. I I saw a lot of people saying it's not playing near them, so it's great if you could catch it.
Hmm,
But coming to the Bollywood, see, the thing is right that there are a lot of cost, which although the thing is, so in Kerala you're shooting in Kerala, the people, you have connections, everything is so much more easier to do, right? The moment you go in Mumbai, you have 10 people to pay and take care of, and yes, there are actor fees, but I don't think, see, if you want to make a good, the problem with Bollywood is, right, the system is so broken, where
hmm,
if someone wants to make such project, then they'll be like, okay, even if you want to put 100 crores is too much money, so I need a big
hmm,
star.
hmm,
If I'm putting that money, I need a big star, so I'm assured my money will be come back, and the moment you pick up good star, the budget goes to 100.
hmm,
And the moment you does that, then, oh, is a big star, so you have to do this, you have to put songs, you have to do this, you have to, then it starts becoming a project that you have to service the star now. And it just, everything goes, a way that your main point of making a big unit. See, I took the example of
yeah,
Brahmastra as a concept, ambition, everything is really good. The
hmm,
problem is they thought, okay, if we need to make this, then we have to put so much budget. And they said, Bahubali came out, that gave us inspiration that we can also do something like this. And instead of focusing on telling a solid story first, they went into telling the biggest story. We will put so much effort, money into it. 500 crores we'll put in. First movie with so much effects we'll do so many characters. We'll get all the A-lister actors, big cameos. They got Shah Rukh also, they got Nagarjun also, they got Amitabh Bachchan, they got Ranbir Alia already there, and they did like the whole universe. There are these many people, like they just overstuffed it so much because they were so desperate to sell the thing. And oh, if 500 crores, if it works, it does so much money, and then we can make more, more films and make a universe out of it our own. That's the thing, is you should have first proven the concept. It should have
hmm,
been just Ranbir Kapoor discovering his powers, or he meets, Alia. The interval portion should have been the climax where you introduce this Amitabh Bachchan, and oh my God, we leave like that the theaters. I cannot wait to see him next in the next. So you're
hmm,
not planning it really well. You are just overstuffing. You are trying to put everything into it so that you can just make a lot of money out of it, or you can
yeah.
sell it very, very well. You're not thinking. See, you have to think big, but you have to think small also. You have to think baby steps. Now Brahmastra, it's like question mark. You don't care
I've
about the
heard it.
characters.
I've heard
Yeah,
it's
it's,
not gonna.
yeah, that's more of a budgetary thing, but it's like you don't care about the characters, you don't care about the world, you don't care about anything. Here, Loka, look at Loka. It tells a good story. I feel connected to her Chandra's character. I feel connected to Naslin's character. I am invested in what's going on, what's happening in this world. these
Yeah.
cameos, what's gonna happen. So I'm interested. Now you
Mm.
take me on the big journey because I'm invested. That's what
Yeah,
with
just like
Brahmastra or other projects leave out on.
just like you gave the example that they should have introduced Amitabh Bachchan's character at the end. This is what exactly they did in Lokah, that Dulquer Salman came at the very end. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Uh, but that, and then also Tovino's, and the post credit scene where he says, "I have 389 siblings." I mean, that one line in itself is enough for a lot of people to be, sold. That okay,
And that is so
this is
refreshing,
going to be
right?
interesting. Yeah,
What is Brahmastra? Oh, one more guy, he's the main villain, he's gonna come back. Or he's
yeah.
come back already. Like that's it, right? Like what's the innovation there?
Hmm.
Like even Tovino's character, if you don't know Tovino, right? His character is
Yeah,
fascinating.
yeah.
The things he
It's
does,
got so much mystique.
the way it's executed, like the magical,
Yeah,
the childlike playing stuff. He's naughty. That's what
yeah,
you're getting from it. We know it's Tovino doing it. That's fun. But even if you don't know, you're enjoying the character, what he's doing. And
yeah,
think about this. Tovino is like right now in Malayalam cinema is a top
yeah,
kind of guy who's coming up now. Maybe not at Fafa's level or Prithviraj's level, but he's now coming up as a next big star, A-list
yeah.
actor. Him doing such a small role in a someone else's film. How many people in India would do that? Like, so not India, like in Bollywood or in other industries where a bigger star, like you can say Ajay Devgan showed up in what was the name of the film? Gangubai. That I'll give
Hmm.
it her. He gave him the
Hmm.
credit that he played a
Hmm.
small role in that, and she was kind
Hmm.
of the bigger hand in it. So kudos to him. But it's not like they're gonna go a spin-off movie and he's part of it, right? So it's like you're giving in. Not all. There are many big actors who will be able to pull it off,
That's
and that's the
when an
problem, right?
actor
Like
is
if
secure.
the problem is Ajay Devgan is again established person. He's very secured guy, as an actor. I'm saying an
Hmm.
upcoming actor who would just show
Hmm.
up for a small role in someone else's film, which may work, may not work. You may have a future, not, but you are giving all your best to it.
Even if Sobin was there in one scene,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you
yeah.
remember.
So yeah, they
So
just set they're just setting it up, right? Like
yeah,
so the good part is, which I learned afterwards, is that they've already written, they are done with the scripting of 5 films. So they
okay,
totally know what they're going for. So it's not like they're just randomly dropping people, and if it works, let's see then what we'll do. So
right.
even if you look at it, when I saw the second time, first time when I saw, right, the whole beginning sequence where she runs away, I thought, and then she later says I was in Sweden. So I thought that first sequence was she was on a mission in Sweden and now she's come
Hmm.
to Bangalore. That's not the case actually. What we
Hmm.
saw is actually part of a future film which
Right.
is setting up, and it felt like futuristic, it felt like
Yeah.
post apocalyptic, and they are building up to something else. So that's
Hmm.
what the reference was, and then we cut to, okay, she was in Sweden for 20 years, she couldn't stay there anymore, now she's in India and she's
Hmm.
been called for something. So
Yeah.
it's like everything is sorted in their mind. They know why are they placing these people, what is Tovino doing here, what is DQ doing here. It's all connected, like there's a bigger picture. It's not just random, like Salman Khan showing up at the end of
Hmm.
Singham again.
And this is kind of like what we have seen in Malayalam cinema before. If you remember, Janagana Mana had something from the future in that
Yeah,
movie
they did
itself.
that. It's like we saw part two first, and then we'll see
Yeah.
part one with his character, kind of a thing. I don't know, even that is on a back burner now. I don't
Yeah,
know what
maybe.
happened.
So Vishnu has an interesting one if you knew about this. In
I saw
Andhra,
it,
there
Vishnu.
was
I
there was
saw your message. Yeah, it was cringy,
so
cringy, man. And the camera is like literally they took one line from the review, and the camera is on DQ, and he's just
okay.
smiling, and I can hear my two words behind. And then after a few, like a second, everyone starts to laugh, and they're not
Uh,
showing what they're showing on screen. I think maybe copyright, they don't want to get in all that. Like the local organization would have created something out of it, so they didn't want to show it on YouTube. So maybe that, but you can only see people's faces. I'm like, what is on screen? Why are they laughing? What did I do? Is it me or is it something else? It's just so cringy.
I gotta watch it now. Shelly says her favorite scene is the one with the little girl watching her kick ass
Oh,
was
that
very
interval
satisfying.
so good, yeah.
Yeah, let's talk about
It's a
that.
editing nightmare,
Hmm.
because initially, like, the way it starts, right? Like, she
Yeah,
gets kidnapped, and then we get to another
mm,
cameo by an actor,
yeah,
and then, like, who is this guy? Suddenly, who's this kid? Why he's telling a story? And then he
mm,
gets to a story, and then flashback, and then we cut back to the present, and the
mm,
constant cutting, and it's just such a good piece of like, artistry
yeah.
there.
Yeah, I think that's where it peaked because that's a perfect interval block for us to get to know the origin story. But as you said, the way it's edited with the present events and then cutting back to the past events. I mean that was. And did you see it coming? I mean, it was very unpredictable. Maybe somebody, if from Kerala they knew about this Neeli folklore, maybe they might have predicted it.
Predicted what?
The whole backstory, like the little girl story.
I would assume that when like the king comes, right, and he asks for
Hmm.
who did this, and they say Keneally, I think that would be a, like, it's like, you would not think about it, but the moment they say it, and it just connects all the dots,
Hmm.
basically. So at that moment, I'm assuming people watching, who even who know all the story and thing, they're like, oh, it's like, how to what's the other example I can give? uh I know, like, what other example is right?
No, but I
It's
get
basically
what
like
you.
the moment that word is spoken, oh my god, oh, that's what they're doing, and I don't think it's
Hmm.
they saw it coming. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they understood what which. How much I know, Vishnu? Can you tell? Is it the same, right? Neeli is the woman who fought the oppression and the covering of the breast, and she cut off her breast for protest. And is that the same person, or am I getting it
I
totally wrong?
I don't think so. That's a different one. Uh,
I
but
thought maybe that's it, but I think
see,
that's more recent, so it couldn't be that. That's more of
but
a
see, but
recent thing, and Neeli is more like a folklore kind of a thing. So I'm not. I
yeah,
think
yeah,
I'm getting
it
it
is a
wrong.
folklore. It is a
Yeah, it is
folklore
different. Yeah, got it, Vishnu.
because what I asked you was whether you saw it coming that it's that little girl who
Oh
was
yeah. Oh, of course.
who existed. No, no, like did you expect this to be that from such a far away period that she has existed since then? Like she doesn't die, she doesn't age, something like that. That was
Oh, the
something.
moment they showed the her getting injured and losing, and suddenly she's back to normal after she gets the blood, I knew she's a vampire. So that I
Okay,
understood that, and I had seen the trailer, so I knew, okay, they'll go in the backstory and show us how she became a vampire.
because I didn't
I
see
was
it coming when
assuming, I was
she
assuming,
she
like, the what threw me off actually was the whole animated sequence, right?
hmm,
After the in the after the title card, where we get like some legends, like, one guy with the staff, they're different, and you can see, okay,
yeah,
this is DQ, this is Tovino, and
yeah,
there are different stories they're showing, and I'm like, is she one of them? And like, and there's a savior, I think there's a lady, I feel, with a white sword, and like, there's so much
hmm,
to break down in that. But that kind of throw me off, because I thought, okay, these are legends which in one of each character will see. But then they show, oh no, when she sees a statue and it's broken,
hmm.
and then there she gets, so there's history before her also. She is not the history, there's history before her also there. So yeah, I saw vampire stuff, I knew it was her backstory. She's the vampire and she's living for that long.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. And then when she said that this is a story from 1905 when the Britishers were there, you know, because of course, we have seen vampire stuff in the West as well. We have seen stuff like werewolves and shapeshifters and all. But I think the director's approach to weave it around the Kerala folklore, as I said before, that's where the genius lies in this world. And coming back to this comment that I wanted to highlight, uh,
Yeah, first time I missed this totally. I couldn't get it. Second time when that scene came, I was listening carefully. It was totally Mammootty's voice.
Really? I missed it too. Which one is this?
Are so in the second half, right? There's like the guy calls her, right? Like you take care of everything and you leave from there, and then the
Ha ha
camera
ha.
goes behind
Yeah,
and you see the staff. And that
yeah.
time he says, Venda, like no, don't. So this is the he just
Oh.
said Venda. And first time
Yeah.
I missed it. But the second time I was listening carefully, and the moment I heard it, I'm like, yeah, this is Mammootty.
So there is a chance of him coming in future.
Of course, man, DQ, come on. I think, see, by the fifth film, right? I'm sure half of the Malayalam characters are in the film. I'm telling you.
Do you foresee Fafa coming to this?
I guess Papa is a guy who, maybe he does it for the fun of it. But I'm thinking he's a
Hmm.
guy who, if he like, he would require a meaty role and some substantial
Hmm.
role to add to the film. But yeah, if they find a character, I would like to see him play a villain instead of a hero or someone. I think he'll be a nice person to play a villain in the universe. But yeah, there's so much do like it's again maybe yes, of course Mammootty they casted, but maybe they bring Mohanlal for something, they bring someone else or something. So but again, it should be, I think that they should not lose the focus that it should be story connected. Don't just go into cameo fest. The cameo uses the future. I think future. I'm not sure. Yeah, I feel it's gonna be too much because they literally some sequences have spaceships and like it's like science fiction suddenly. Like some of the things they're showing. So I feel like every kind of film will have some backstory flashback. Like the flashback for Tovino's character is you saw those kids and there are multiple of them and then suddenly they get angry and they start killing everyone.
Hmm.
Like they get up to it so that they're gonna show some back very dark flashback for his character. So I think each film will have a very far away period drama. I even think maybe there's some time travel element because of the first scene,
Hmm.
that we travel in time and the world is gonna end in something they have to do, kind of a thing. But yeah, let's see.
As much as I loved Tovino in this, one part of me quietly wished that what if he was Minnal Murli like in this world, like the worlds would have
Nah.
collided.
They have a
That
different
would have been.
universe going, right?
I
They
know,
have a
but like
different universe
a,
going on.
a part of me wanted to maybe have like how YRF is
See,
doing,
then it
Pathaan
would
and
become what YRF in Singham universe, whatever they are going, where it's not connected, and then they thought, okay, let's make it connected. So
Mhm.
it is better to have your own design than just include other things.
So coming to a villain, I think one of the good things about this one was first of all to not give us a lot of information in the first half as the film was going on, but for them to establish that villain, I think one of the important things was to write him misogynistic. Because if you have a female superhero, and then when you're setting up a male antagonist, for him to be like that, like he literally says, I will not marry anyone from this state. Like that
I
was
think
such a,
they cut out that line or maybe some other line. So there was some, I don't know. I never saw the controversy. It was more like
okay.
they themselves only thought people get offended, or maybe there were few people who like made offense of it, but they have put out a release that they'll change the line. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
that
Like
was
I saw
still
the
there.
Hindi trailer and they changed the SLUT word to pataka in Hindi. And I'm like, I don't think pataka and that is same kind of meaning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Pataka is more like calling someone sexy or hottie, or that's it's not derogatory as the other word is.
Yeah.
So I guess language you have to get censored or brute. So
So I like what they were trying with that villain and the elements they had written, but performance-wise, I felt like he was slightly off, slightly one-dimensional. Uh, Maybe another actor would have done a much better job. Like the menace could
I
have been.
I felt, the thing was maybe it's just us watching Malayalam films that it felt a little over the top for us. But I just felt that from the moment he stepped into the film, right? Like especially the first time, like he knows I'm the villain, that kind of a thing. That he knows I'm the villain. I'll walk, I'll talk like this, and I'm the villain of the like. It's like he's aware that he's a villain. I think that's what kind of threw me off. But I think second time again, you watch anything second time, you are more
Yeah.
acceptable of whatever you see. And second time I was like, okay, the music, the way they're building up, like they're kind of building up him as a menace. You want to hate him, and the moment he
Yeah.
also gets powers, you're like, oh shit, oh no, so I think they do a good job at that and giving him that angle. I think it's more of also that it's a broad stroke. It's like, oh, he's a misogynist, that's it.
Mm.
There's nothing more to him. And maybe that's the mainstreamness of it, that you cannot really explore that and get too deep. Like, that's not this movie. So it's
Yeah.
just it's like he's like a placeholder. He's like he defines misogyny, basically, his character. So I guess, again, I think it's a Malayalam cinema thing that we are used to getting more layered characters. And even I felt even the performance of other actors, right? They're totally even the inspectors in charge, right? The lady police, even she plays it much more grounded, being a superior. And it's so, I think in the contrast of it, he just stands out as, okay, this performance feels little, very heavy, and he's trying to, I am the villain, and he's always moody, and the music and everything just
Mm.
makes it more stand out in that sense. So first time I felt, I think second time it was much more, I was fine with it.
Yeah, like I felt that it was slightly, it was not over the top for me. It was slightly understated, in fact, like because he had very limited expressions. So I'm not talking about the way the character is written, whether it's grounded or not. I'm just speaking strictly from a performance point of view. Uh, and see, even Kalyani's character, the way she has played it is very understated, and that was the requirement of the character as well. But for the villain to act something like that was a little off-putting for me because it had the scope for something more
I
villainous
think
or
the brother's
dark.
character, right? The villain's brother, he's more
Yeah.
ecstatic and very the way he talks. And also, when he gets beaten up, right, for the first time, with
Mm.
the acid bottle and all, I felt he was just maybe that, again, that choice, right, of him. He was kind of doing comedy in the moment. He's getting beaten
Mm.
up, ho ha, ouch. That I'm like,
Mm.
okay, I want him to be scared and get shits beaten out of him. And I don't want this him doing comedy of,
Yeah.
kind of, he's just slapsticky in a sense. But yeah, it's just a choice.
It is, it is. Talking about other performances, what did you think of Naslin and Kalyani's chemistry? Did you, at any point, did you feel the love track was slightly off-putting or distracting, or I thought they didn't overdo it, but they also didn't really stick with it for very long because in the second half there was a lot of things unraveling. So it felt like it was part of those things coming to us here and there. So maybe they could have exploited it a little more.
For me, it was fine. I think the way they handled it was not too much also. Not like, Are
Hmm.
Shiva, you are my love of life, that
Yeah.
nonsense they didn't do. And also, it was not like it didn't make sense. Like, it was, I think when I saw second time, right, it's actually the second half where you get more scenes with them sharing and talking. First
Hmm.
half is only, most of it is just them just interacting once or twice, and that's it. So never romantic at all. It's the second
Hmm.
half where you know about the backstory, you know about the picture, she had a someone looking like him only, and you feel the
Yeah.
connection and the guilt. She shares that she lost him, and there's a guilt.
Hmm.
So there's more scenes of them, understanding each other, and even the way they ended, just a hug, no kiss, they didn't set up
Yeah.
any like. So I think it was very well balancedly done. It was nothing too much. And
Hmm.
I don't know the age of Kalyani, but I feel like I assume
It
Nasrin
was
is quite
mismatch.
young. I think
It
that's
felt like a
purposefully,
mismatch.
right? It's purposefully mismatched because she is, quite like she's centuries old, and
Hmm.
he's kind of young, so it kind of adds to that dynamic they have going on.
Yeah, that's true. And the fact that when his lookalike is shown from the
Yeah,
past, that one looks slightly older than this current one.
yeah.
So that's a good point that it added a little touch to that. I absolutely adored the background score. I mean, it was so on point by who is it? Jake Bijoy?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I You know, right? I worked on Brahmastra's background score, so
Yeah.
for me, it's the only good thing in that film I was a part of it. So I know how, first of all, difficult it's to get the music for a superhero film in India right, especially the scoring part. So for Jakes to have that, and I think it's was he also involved in Minal Murli? I don't remember, but if he was not,
Minal
if this is his
Murli
first,
is, I think, someone else.
maybe somebody can
Someone in
tell
the
us.
chat will tell us.
Yeah. See,
Minal
even
Murli,
Shelly is
I
agreeing the
think.
music rocked.
Even the especially the music for the when the folklore element comes, which is in the teaser trailer
Yeah.
also. Kana mana gana gana
Yeah,
ee-ha.
yeah, yeah.
That is also beautiful.
Yeah, and so talking about like how we just touched upon the animated part, do you think that's also maybe in the longer run something for comic books to come up in if this
Yeah, I
works
think they
out very
can see, even if they don't have, like, they cannot explore everything. Of course, even if this film becomes big, the maximum
well?
they can go for future films is 100, 200, 150 crores maximum they can touch, right? I don't think they can go 500, 600 crores for a film. No way,
Mm,
that unless we are proven wrong and the next film does 1,000 crores. you
yeah.
know unless that's the case. But I think they cannot really spend a lot. So, and again, they do it smartly. I think it can work out. But yeah, animation. I wonder if they use some AI stuff, like because some of the sequences, like they shot them in with camera, and then they use a filter which gives them an animated look, right? Especially in the
Mm,
when they go in the flashback. Maybe
yeah.
it was just for the transition because we go to the TV and they show us visuals and then we go to the real footage.
Mm,
They used AI in the music video they shared,
yeah.
which I saw, but I don't know if AI can be used for the animation stories, or they can make graphic novels out of the histories, different history and different. Like we know that uh, Tovino's character and she has a history, so maybe that
Mm,
could be, or maybe what
yeah.
the priest told her, right? There are two people like you we have to take care of. So it's like one
Mm.
adventure there, one like side stories, like kind of thing they can make if they want, because it will take
Yeah,
time
they
for the next film, right? So in between that, you can share
yeah.
these stuff and all of that. That's what
So do
Kalki
you
was supposed to do. Like they
mm,
released two episodes of Bujji and Bhairava, and then it was so cool, and then
mm,
nothing. So I don't know what's going on. Like I would have liked to see more. And that's like pre Kalki film, so it's not like you're getting into the narrative there. So you can just have a side him of side story of
yeah.
just exploring the world.
So any chance you see that the success of this can sort of reinstall the faith in superhero films in India, and maybe, just maybe, Brahmastra 2, which might be on a back burner, might, get a new lease of life so that, they learn from their own mistakes, but also
Oh,
learn from how it's done.
I don't know, man. Like first one is like I think the perception is that it was a hit. Now I don't know if it was really, like some people said no, it's like they just made it a hit and it was actually not hit. And the thing is that, see, War 2 didn't work. That's a
Mm.
big problem. And
Right.
he was
Yeah,
supposed to
yeah,
do Doom 4 after this. Now I don't know if that, like, I don't think he was the problem in War 2. Like
yeah.
his direction was the problem, but it's just that the whole concept has become outdated.
But do you think he
So
was the problem in Brahmastra?
I think Brahmastra was that, right? They just got too see, the
Over
thing is they
ambitious.
wrote the story 7 years ago. Anything would get, and they just, because you're so much in the bubble, you're just, again,
Yeah.
it has to be first. That's why you say always start small and then you
Mm.
build on that. Don't start big first only, because now it fails. Now what can you do? Like that's it, stuck, right? It's in limbo. So it's better to go slow. Maybe now, maybe they change the story, they take it maybe slower, or he gets the funds to make it. Like I don't know, it's a dream project, he is doing pre-production, they've hired other writers for it,
Yeah,
so hope it works.
did, didn't they announce that part 2 was coming 2027 or 2026
So I
December or
think
something?
Ramayana has postponed it more because Ranbir is
Mm.
busy with that. Then there's Animal Park also, which I don't know right now if it will happen or not, because how much time Spirit is gonna take. So I think that's too much stuff going on. But They said that it is supposed to go in production, but
Mm.
again, he was supposed to prove himself with War 2, and then now what has happened with it? That's gonna, I don't know, it's gonna make, shuffle things up. Maybe he has to prove again, make a hit film, and then go back to it. I don't know what will happen. So, but I don't know if I think, but the thing is, there is a potential for that to work. Knowing the first part, more people have seen it. Maybe if cast, they haven't announced who they will be. So if they cast those people, if those actors come together and they focus, spend more money on the making, and the story works more on the story and then just the budget of it, like maybe it works out.
But how you said that one of their mistakes was to start with, putting a lot of money and, instead of working on story, like put 500 crore. Do you think the Ramayana project is making the same mistake?
No, but there's no. But see, Remind is the thing is it's proven story. You cannot
Mm.
go, like, you can go wrong. We saw you can really go wrong with it.
Yeah,
But
yeah, we did.
Ramayana is a very proven story, so it's not like you're doing something totally unexpected. No one knows. Like Brahmastra is a totally, you're creating a different world and ideas and all of that, right? So it's a different ball game. Ramayana is a proven story. You are just taking it to the next level through the visuals and the making, and
Mm.
the people working on it are they've won Oscars. They have worked with bigger visionaries, so they know how to take that and make it big. So I think that's not the case with Ramayana. And the time of effort, it's not like Adipurush were 2-3 years and they are like, we'll make something like Avatar. That was
Yeah.
basically the concept of Adipurush.
Mm.
They thought that they will able to take Ramayana, take Prabhas, and they'll have a lot of money and they'll make Avatar kind of thing. Avatar took 10-15 years. Avatar idea was in James Cameron's head in 1980s, but he didn't make it because the technology was not there to make it. That much, how much patience he had, and then he spent so much money on first one, then he took 10 years to release the second one. Like, that much amount of effort you need to put, and that's what they're putting it, right? They didn't even announce Ramayana. They were in pre-production for 2-3 years. Before that, they were
Mm.
writing it, they were doing all the stuff, they didn't even, there is announced few months back officially that it's happening, and they have
Yeah.
already finished. We got a first kind of visual glimpse at the time when they'd already finished shooting first film. So that tells you how much dedicated they are about it. So I have high hopes from them.
I really like
They
this comment by Shelley that I didn't get much of a romance vibe between Chandra and Sunny, but he does have a favorite.
Yeah, there's a good, like, there were good few jokes like this. Then O negative, and then him searching how to
And
kill.
O negative is the universal donor, right?
Any O, actually O positive is one, a universal donor. O negative is a very rare blood group.
Okay.
It, like,
Yeah.
O negative is considered like very prestigious in a sense that it's very few and all of that.
And then is Disney involved in Brahmastra?
It was I think the, like, distributor in a sense in Hollywood. I don't know if it was producers. So it was, I think, co-produced by Stars, but then I think now Geo bought it.
Mm.
So I think there was news that Dharma has sold the IP to Geo, and then Geo said that we want Ayan to prove himself before we spend more money on his
Mm.
universe. So I don't know now where it's going.
Maybe they change the director if they see some
No,
potential
no,
in
no,
the.
no. How can you change the creator of the universe? Like, that
No,
makes no sense.
they keep the creator as an executive producer maybe and get
No, but
somebody else to.
who is more capable of pulling it off than the person who already pulled it off? It wasn't perfect, but he did it. Like, no one has experience of making a film like that than him, right? And
Mm.
who else is as bigger? Like, no, you cannot hire S.S. Rajamouli. Like, you're like, I have better things to do in my life. I have my own stories to tell. So who is that big director? Who's ready to be on hire and to listen to Anne Mukherjee and make the film according to his vision.
Mm.
So that's the problem. Maybe the thing is that one idea is that they make a spin-off film. But again, with that also they took Shah Rukh. He doesn't have time. So you make a spin-off film of one character or something. You try to make it go small without
Mm.
kind of breaking the what do you call it? The perception or the grandness of Brahmastra. Like, don't call it Brahmastra, call it something else. When it comes out, and then you have some connections to Brahmastra there. Maybe Ranbir Kapoor shows off as a cameo, and then you make the people more excited,
Hmm.
and then you start with Brahmastra 2, and that becomes a proven concept also. If it works, then it's a proof of concept, and then you can use that to take it ahead.
Yeah, but this is not a podcast about that. Sorry, guys, we digressed a little bit. Shelly is saying O negative is the universal donor. And she says, I wish to hell that James Cameron would hire someone from India to write a screenplay. Uh,
No, he said that he made Avatar so he could make the third film Fire and Ash. So,
it's coming
you
this
know,
year, right?
yeah, December.
Yeah, that's
We have
gonna
a
be nice.
plan to come to Mumbai to watch it, Vadala.
You do?
Dude, I saw during F1, I saw the trailer. Oh my god, dude. I
Mhm.
saw the trailer, I reacted to the trailer. I'm like, cool. On IMAX, dude, just I would like I was shaken it by like the visuals, the world, the aspect ratio just changes. Everything changes. And that's what I
Yeah.
felt for Avatar 2. When I saw it in theater, I'm like, Avatar 2 is just normal stuff. And I saw it a week late. I went in, I'm like, I was blown. The world he creates, and the time he spends to show us everything, and it never feels boring, and you're just mesmerized by what you're seeing on screen.
So there is hope.
Again, there is demand. Huh? I thought no one cares. See, that's why I'm saying, like, as a creative person who loves all this stuff, like, of course I want his vision to come true. And there were so many theories when it came out, but I think the problem is also now all cinematic universes are struggling. Else again, because see, LCO again is just too relying on Lokesh.
Hmm.
you know then Cop Universe, don't talk about it, what nonsense they did last time. Then what else we have? Spy Universe, they kind of now have killed it actually,
Yeah.
because they have made it so, like, and people are so uninterested. I think that's why they've already said Vyrav is taking break from the universe, the spy world, and they're focusing on Doom 4 and more
No,
original
but
films.
Alpha is gonna come, right?
And because it's already finished, right? Like, after Alpha there'll be a break. Like, they're not making any more films. Like, the Tiger versus Pathan thing is put on hold or even scrapped.
But see, like
So
even War One was directed by somebody else, and then Ayan came on board. So it's if it's a part of the same universe. So same way I was thinking if Brahmastra One was somebody by Ayan, and then
no,
Brahmastra
but
Two.
see, the thing is, it's here Ayan was the director for hire, you know. So he was brought in. Okay, this is our world. You work on this the way we want. Now, who will you get from, like, what are the examples? Give me some name. No, who can you get for someone to bring on to make Brahmastra 2?
Uh, I mean, right now I can't think of anything. Maybe if Ramayana does well and Nitesh Tiwari can maybe come on board.
Dude, he's booked till 2028, 2029. So
Okay.
forget. See, the thing is, it also everything needs, like, people need to collab, right? Like, you cannot just because Nitish made Ramayan, so you can get him. His vision, his methodology, it has to match with Ayan. Then their methodology has to meet with the actors. So there's a lot of things there.
No, no, of course. I'm not saying just get anybody random. Like, Ayan has to have that synergy with them. I'll give you another example from the West. Like, uh, you know about Fargo movie, right? So, Fargo the movie was by Coen Brothers, but when Fargo the series was made, it was created by somebody as well. Coen Brothers were the executive producers on that. They
But that's
were
a different thing, right? That's a different thing. It's
no,
like,
it is. What I'm trying to say is like the creator is there as a supervisor, as an executive producer, and if they know somebody is capable of pulling that their vision, then what's
that's
the
what,
harm?
but that's what I ask. Who's capable?
That is like for us to see in the future. Like right now, I can't pinpoint anybody. Uh, depends na ki
See, the
who I am.
problem is, if there's someone who's capable, who he'll be doing his own stuff. They'll not, if someone is capable, that capable, they'll be making something of their own. That's what I'm telling you.
Okay. All the universe are not focused. Anyone, their priorities are not straight.
And most of them are afterthought, right?
Hmm.
Most of them are afterthoughts, or most of them are like, And even in this part two, right? They make first film and then they leave part two. Like
Hmm.
I don't know if Devara will ever come. Like I'm honestly not sure. So they show it like it was a big hit and all, and I don't see the sequel happening.
So this is an interesting one. If Lokah wins all of India and does well at the box office, will it get snubbed for an award or not chosen to represent the country at the Oscars?
It's not
Is
a film for
not an
representation.
Oscar-worthy film. I mean, it's a good one, but then there comes the counter.
See the thing with Triple R, right? Like even I wouldn't have chosen it. But the thing is, the kind of response it got in US, that was a great opportunity for it to we send it, and it actually, I'm telling you, if we had sent that film, it would have get selected, not win, but it would have been selected. The places where they themselves took the film, they actually won awards. They won Best International Award at some award. They won a Grammy. They won this. Like they won an Oscar. The song won an Oscar.
Yeah,
Like some brain you should have, right? Like, and it is a great representation of Indian cinema, the kind of movies, masala movies we make, right? It's not something nonsense we are sending. So it
and
didn't make
which film was sent that year?
the cello story or the cello, I don't know, cello show. It's basically kind of a not a remake but similar story of a old film about cinema paradiso, where a kid like discovers cinema and how cinema affects life and all of that stuff. So very very artsy, very cinema lovers, and that's what they thought would go, but no. Yeah, they should have sent this no what was the name, All We Imagine Is Light.
Hmm.
That film won the second producer award at
Khan.
this Cannes Film Festival. Like, what brains do you have? I don't get it.
Uh, 20 people are watching. Please like the video or subscribe to the channel. This helps us with the algorithm and reach more people like you. Before we finish this, any um, crazy theories that you have that Loka might offer us in the next installment?
I don't know, man. Like I think they have created more stuff in the film itself than for us to create more theories. Like this, literally, the more the times you see the film, the more things you catch. So,
Mm.
like really, like at this point, the audience is only catching up to the film because it was so unexpected. I said it before also somewhere that dude, literally 2 months ago, they put out a poster. Before
Mm.
that, I didn't even know a film like this is coming out. They were at a poster saying chapter one. I'm like, oh, what? There's a universe they're building. Oh, this, wow, wow. And then 2 months later, we're talking about it. So that tells you how secretly they made it and they did everything, and we are just on the back foot right now.
And the good thing that worked for it as well in a way is at the same time when Kerala was being typecast in Param Sundari, like Malayalis, the way they were shown, comes a movie from Kerala, from within Kerala, that does this kind of a magic on screen. This is an interesting comment, which I don't think is going to happen. What do you think about this?
I don't think Bagi 4 is a competition for Lokah, but the problem is the Conjuring movie is going so well, box
Mm.
office at advance booking, that may eat up a lot of shows for Lokah. Lokah, I just saw they just like still it's left to show up, but there's one Hindi show they've added, and there's one Malayalam show. So still there are two shows they're giving. Param Sundari has totally crashed from having 8 shows last week to now just two. Then Baguio only has 3-4 shows near me, and is Conjuring who has 8-9 shows. So, but the thing is, if people keep going, if even that 1-2 shows are getting a lot of audiences, they'll keep it for a long time, and they may even add more shows. So it depends on how it connects to the Hindi audience and people who have been waiting because so much buzz around it. I've said, see, the film has traveled because creators who focus on Hindi content and all, even they are making videos about Loka. So the film has clearly traveled. Now it depends. Now when the film is available to the people in the language they prefer, and how many shows they get, and are they filling up those shows and going to watch it?
Also
If that works,
depends on the advance booking for Hindi shows, right?
even spot booking is fine. See, the good thing is that there are just few shows. The
Hmm.
problem is if they add too many shows and then it turns out it's all going empty, empty, just three, four people are coming, then they'll cut it down. It's better to only have one or two shows, them filling up 40-50%, and that will make the theater change like, okay, there people are coming, so let's add more shows or keep it for a longer time. Let's not remove the movie, very quickly. And the thing is, I hope the makers have not given that OTT thing that within now 4 weeks the film comes on OTT. Please use the potential of theaters. Stay there even for 2 to 3 months. Stay there. Don't come on OTT so quickly. If you want it to be a theatrical experience, you want people to have the interest. Is and if people watch the film in theater, they will be more willing to come for the second part.
Hmm.
Because if they watch it on OTT and they don't find it boring or they don't enjoy it that much and that experience is not the same, then they will be thinking twice when the next movie comes in the theater. So it's better to create audiences to theater and they'll be lifelong with you when the next film comes out than relying on OTT,
Yeah,
especially
that's
when you are building a universe and you have future films to come.
uh, he says I was damn sure that a superhero movie with Kalyani and Naslin wouldn't have grossed 30 crore before the teaser dropped.
I knew something special is happening when I saw it's DQ, produced by DQ. And
Hmm.
even the first look which poster that I was like, wow, this is so looking so good. And then the teaser trailer, like, it was convincing enough for me to know that it will work.
But I still doubt that people in the Hindi circuit would be as excited about this, even with word of mouth or the reviews that YouTubers are coming out with.
See the kind of creators I'm talking about are people who talk about a lot of DC Marvel stuff, and like, so they are cats. When it becomes part of pop culture, right? And the
Hmm.
thing is that it's connected now. People are saying it's universe. People are now fed up of universe, but it's very exciting. Still, it's a very fun concept for Indians. So the hero, it's actually a really good film. It's superhero. They're the thing is that all these vampire and superhero and history and cameos, like it kind of generates a lot of buzz than it just being a good movie, right? So I think that may get more people. It's and the palette is very universal. It's
Yeah.
superhero. It's a normal love story. It's not very very much grounded and in Kerala culture where you don't understand what's going on.
When
In
I
that
was
sense, I think.
when I was walking out of the theater, like I heard a couple of guys speaking in Hindi that yaar mast dikhaya inhone to. Like one of the things they pointed out कि he said कि अरे इसमें तो उल्टा किया है कि जो नया कन्वर्ट जो हुआ है वेम्पायर वो ज्यादा स्ट्रांग है.
Huh.
तो
I think some has that concept where the new one are more. I don't know which. I think in Twilight only they do that. I'm not sure. Uh, I think, yeah, it's yeah. There are. I'm sure there are some references like that before.
so what was your reaction when the vampire concept showed up
See, I kind of called it. There
in
were
the trailer?
multiple moments. No, no, no. In the film,
Okay.
so I kind of knew the moment, she gets injured and if she's fine, then she's getting the boxes that. So I was trying to find out what kind of power she has, and then you see that she needs boxes and she gets ill. That I
Hmm.
knew, okay, this is all hints at her being a vampire, and the blood and everything. And then when she's in the party, then it was like done. She is a vampire. Very cool concept is that vampire, if they cannot enter your house, you need to welcome them in. So in
Okay.
the scene where she comes for the party, she just stands at the door and she doesn't come in until Naslin says come in.
And she's wearing white
So
in that.
yeah, that's
Last
something that
comment.
someone pointed on Twitter, and the second time I saw, I kind of focused on it.
Last comment. Shelly says she saw it in US. She was the only non-Indian in the audience, but the only one who clapped and cheered at Vampire reveal. That's the kind of audience we need more and more. Not just in US, but in north of India and the Hindi circuit as well. When this comes out this week.
Even
So
my theater was, because I'm guessing, like even they're Malayalis, but they are in a different city, and it was not a night show where everyone's just kind of like that kind of a crowd, but they were laughing. There were a lot of jokes and all. They were laughing. So
in my the show I saw was on a Tuesday, in fact, yesterday, and it was almost houseful.
yeah,
Malayalam
those
subtitles.
Tuesdays are now. I've talked to the theater owners, theater guys, and they told me that for them nowadays Tuesdays are bigger and better than even Sundays
No,
because of the
because
less ticket pricing. Even I go, when there are too many films, even go on Tuesday and watch all of them. Like I saw Lokah again and I've went for Verse 2. I'm like, okay,
mm.
I'll use Tuesday, get cheaper tickets.
Well, guys, that was Loka discussion for you. Please,
There's one more last chat.
okay, this one.
Yeah. Again, yeah, it's a good that Netflix got the rights.
Yeah, and because Minal Murli is also on Netflix as well, so
You're still hoping for that.
I'm not hoping for that. I'm just, and
What
I
if
wish.
Tovino is another goblin? One of the
And
goblin is Minal Murli.
by the way, he has 389 siblings.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. One of him is Minal Murli.
Yeah, maybe. But I wish Minal Murli came in theaters too. Like how you're making a point,
Yeah.
right? That a lot of movies which come on OTT don't have the theatrical effect. So if
I think
Min-
if a sequel comes, it will definitely a lot of people saw Minal Murli on OTT. So, but that
yeah,
time it was COVID, so it made sense.
correct. So yeah, guys, this was a little bit of a spoiler discussion. Sorry if we didn't warn you enough, but I kept it in the ticker that, and it was a fun discussion too. Thank you to everyone who joined, and big thanks to Shelly for her generous contribution as always. Shelly is the Neely of this podcast. You know? Bad referencing.
She was the Neely of Indian Geek Society.
Yeah. But it failed at the end. It wasn't enough for you to keep it alive.
Oh, she did. She was running the channel only for two years.
Yeah, she is currently running mine now. So she Neely was called from that world to this world.
Yeah. She only spends 2 years on one channel. Then she moves on to the next channel.
Yeah. But yeah, guys, 27 people are watching. If you have just joined, watch us on replay, and like the video, dislike the video if you didn't like our discussion, whatever you want to do. But these things help with the algorithm. This channel has been sort of dead for a while, so I'm trying to revive it. Really depends on other contributors as well, because I mostly do live discussions rather than doing solo stuff. So I'm kind of dependent on when my other friends are available. So yeah, so the more you demand, the more the supply will be. And this, see, now we are about to leave and people are joining now. 31 people are watching right now, which was not there at that time earlier. But I'm thankful to each one of them. We have crossed an hour. We thought of half an hour discussion, but that's what happened with these Malayalam films, right? Like something new comes once in a while, and the discussions are endless, and there's so much to talk. I'm sure if we had time, we could go on for another hour, but I haven't had my dinner, and Nona has other stuff to
As
do as well.
always.
Yeah. But yeah, thank you again, Nona, for joining us today, and we hope to see you more often on the channel as well, and to all the viewers as well. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe. That's the drill. And we'll see you very soon. This is All Things Cinema.